Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. I am Amy, also known as your Punkin-spiced Hufflepuff. So this is a brand new channel. Welcome in on ground zero, if you will. So hopefully you stick around. What this channel is a place where we can be spooky, geeky, we can bake, we can just nerd out a little bit. There's gonna be a lot of Halloween because Halloween is very near and dear to me. But there's gonna be some geeky in regards to just geek culture, gaming, things like that. A little bit of baking. Hopefully we can make it spooky. And then just some witchy, spooky horror type things as well. So it is a little hodgepodge, and I know that, but it's all the things that make me who I am. So I figure there's other people out there who would like it. So for certain videos, if you like the content, great. If you don't, you can just tune into the next one, and hopefully that's something that'll kind of bring it in. But today, how I kind of want to get this channel kicked off is we'll start with something a little bit geeky, but also a little spooky. So if you're like me and you love Halloween or you just love spooky season in general, you want ways to bring that into your world year round. I have a couple of games that could bring that feel to you. The first one that I'm going to start with is called Gloom. Now, Gloom is a card game, and I'll go ahead and just read you a little bit of what it calls itself, but it's the game of inauspicious incidents and grave consequences. So the sky is gray, the tea is cold, and a new tragedy lies around every corner. If that doesn't make you excited, I don't know what will. But anyway, this game, the artwork in and of itself is beautiful. So let me get a couple of cards out here. So there are different families, and each player, as I drop them, can play different families. But like here is one. If you can see, it's clear. It is a see-through card. And this one is Butterfield, the lurking butler is who he is. The back of the card is quite beautiful as well. So the artwork reminds me of, how would I describe it? Edgar Allan Poe meets Tim Burton meets Shel Silverstein. I don't know how else to describe it, but I love it. And so how this game works is you are working to make your family the most miserable out of all the families. So you win by glooming the game up here. And then you also are trying to make your opponent's families happier. So that way you are gloomy, they are happy. Again, gloom is what wins. So what I love about this with the clear cards is say this is who you're playing. You would choose to play maybe was shunned by society. And so you can see there are negative points over here in red. You would lay it on top. And so these would now be the attributes assigned to your butler. Butterfield, he was shunned by society. Who knows why, but then an opponent of yours could say that he was actually delighted by ducklings. Now you'll see this card has a positive attribute. So you would lay that on top of the pile of the person playing this. Now that brings this one all the way positive. So that's kind of the gist of what you're doing, but you also have this role-playing element where you have to kind of build the story upon like, why was this butler shunned by society? What did he do? Or why was he delighted by ducklings? Was he eating in the park, had extra breadcrumbs? Who knows? But there's a lot of fun when it comes to building that up. So that's just a fun game. The artwork is amazing. Let me know if you played it. If you haven't played it, I would recommend it, most definitely. It is a smaller game. So this is the size of the box. Here's my hand. I do have smaller hands, but here's my hand. So it can very handily fit into like your handbag, your backpack, your car, and just be kind of one of those games that you take with you places too, just for fun, killing time. The next game that I got is brand new to my collection of games. I actually haven't played it yet, but I'm very, very excited to do so. It's unlike anything I've ever played before, and it is called Alice is Missing. So Alice is Missing is a silent role-playing game. That's where it intrigued me. It won a lot of awards at the Ennies 2021. So the Ennies are a board game award, but they won product of the year, they won gold in best game, they won gold in best rules, and then at the Indiecade in 2021, they also won tabletop design. So I think that that's really cool. But let me just read you a little bit about this in the back. It says, "In silence, we find the truth. Alice is Missing is a silent role-playing game about the disappearance of Alice Briarwood, a high school junior in the small town of Silent Falls. During the game, players only communicate using their phones, sending text messages to each other as they unearth clues about what happened to Alice." So what I have found about this game, and I'm going to be playing this with people, it is for 3 to 5 players. Oh, I didn't tell you for Gloom. Hold on. Gloom, I want to say, is up to 4. Gloom is 2 to 4 players. Okay. But Alice is Missing is for 3 to 5 players. I want to get a group of 5 because I want the full experience. There is, so aliceismissing.rpg.com, and there's a booklet in here that kind of walks you through it. On that website, there is actually a full licensed soundtrack that you can play in the background since you can't be talking. So there's, you know, you have a soundtrack for your whole game. The soundtrack itself is 90 minutes long. Now the box says that this is 2 to 3 hours. So I think that they're aiming for it to be closer to the 90 minutes. But if it takes you a little longer, it takes you a little longer. But I think the fact that it has that soundtrack is really cool. And then it's got beautiful artwork like what you see here on the box cover in the background. So it's a lot like if you listen to Chill Hop Radio or something like that. It's something similar to that you can pull up and watch. But also on that website are like missing posters that you can print out. And you have the chance of, so they're all for Alice Briarwood, but she can look different. So you can kind of shuffle them up and have one player pick one, and then that way she can look different each time you play. I don't know about the replayability factor yet since I have not played it, but I can always do an update on that for you after I do. But I thought that was cool. You can download character cards and give those to all of your players. But another cool thing about this is if you're not able to sit in person with the people you want to play with, if you can only play virtually, they have things to help you set this up to be able to play either on Discord or on Roll20, which I think is super cool. I mean, I think I'll probably end up playing on Discord just because like my sister doesn't live in state and I'm not sure who all is going to want to play. So we will probably actually be playing on Discord. And I think that's really cool that they give you all the materials to be able to set that up and get it going. There does not need to be a game master, but the person who organizes the gameplay and knows the rules and reads everything is assigned a certain character. So there is that, but there are 5 different characters. You could assign them out or each person can pick however you want to play that. But I'm very excited. Like I said, it's unlike anything I've ever played before. It does come with some trigger warnings. So there is some violence, some self-harm, things like that that are mentioned. So there are some trigger warnings. So make sure that you research the game before you play it, just in case that there is anything. But it does come with a disclaimer that, I mean, you can let the players know if at any time you need to step away from the game. That is understandable, and you can just finish the game without that player if that ever comes up. But anyway, those are the 2 games. Gloom is one of my all-time favorites, and I'm very excited to play Alice is Missing. I really appreciate you sitting with me as I ramble on about these games, and hopefully you stick around for future videos. I'm not quite sure what my second video upload will be, but it should be coming to you in about a week. So please stick around. I'm going to try to upload 1 a week so that way you have those. But again, Amy, I'm your Punkin-spiced Hufflepuff. If you want to know a little bit more about how I came up with the name, I can always do that. If you do like this channel or anything that I mentioned that will be shown on this channel or any ideas for anything you want to see, please hit the subscribe button with the bell so that way you're notified when I do upload my next video and any in the future. And then also hit a thumbs up. You're welcome to comment down below too, to say, hey Gooligan, how's it going? This is your Punkin-spiced Hufflepuff signing off.